We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about I'm the bottleneck in my own business. I have to ask you, Jill, because this is kind of your title.
Right?
How did this come about?
Because I talked to a new member the other day, and that was his whole thing. There were a couple things. He had done like 50 properties in 2 years, and he's ready to take it to the next level. And he found us through another member, Mark. And then...
You mean another person?
Or another person, excuse me, not member. Well, kind of a member from a long time ago in a roundabout way. Anyway, he found us through another individual. Has been with another individual, just kind of got his feet wet. And he's stuck because he's ready to take his business to the next level. That's the whole point here. And one of the things he said to me was there are like 3 problems. And one of them was, I know I'm my own bottleneck. I'm like, all right, we can help you. We can get you there. And we talked a bit about that. And here we are talking about it again.
I guess we should leave it for the show because I have a million questions.
I can answer them.
Before we
I'll
get into
try.
the topic, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
So why is this new?
It's unnamed.
Oh, anonymous. So
It was like, I'm just horsing around on your site, 7712, exclamation
Oh.
point. So I just chose new member X instead.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. All right. Instead of Bear Wrangler 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. Yeah. Instead of desperately seeking real estate, 6667.
Okay, got it. So I know that Steve and Jill make fun of this group sometimes. That's hilarious. But does it make sense to get a real estate license to jump into this kind of investing? Would the background knowledge help? I have no experience in real estate transactions, and it seems to me from watching the videos on YouTube that transactions can often go sideways and require some level of experience to resolve. Since I haven't purchased yet, I don't know the level of insight to these matters that is provided in the training materials. So I apologize in advance if I'm covering something already covered elsewhere that I couldn't find anything on. Thoughts?
First of all, no need to apologize about asking these questions because
That's why it's there.
Yes, we've covered this, and we will cover it 22 more times.
Happy to.
Like everything, and that's fine.
But I get it.
Jill and I both went to real estate school, and neither one of us took the test. Or maybe some of us took the test, but we didn't
We
register
took
our
and
license.
passed the test.
Yeah.
All the way. I got the fingerprint card. I was like ready to push the button.
Yeah.
And I took a step back and said, oh, what would that open up for me liability-wise and headache-wise and paperwork-wise? Didn't want to do that.
But we did want to get real familiar with the laws,
course.
specifically in Arizona. This is a lot of years ago for both of us. And we did it at separate times in our lives and the whole thing. So, although it would have been fun to do it to you, like if we did it together, it'd be fun to take a class with you.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do it at the same time. You did it first and then I did it after. That's true.
It'd be fun to sit in
We
the
should
back
do
and
that.
just torture some teacher, even at this age.
We can do that.
Because we're usually the teachers.
I know. We've done that. And we tortured the students.
Here's the thing about real estate school, like real estate agent school. So you can go to real estate agent school. You can go to even now there's escrow schools here, especially here in California, which are not required. What the schools are going to teach you is how to stay legal and how to be a salesperson and stuff you can say and stuff you can't say. You're not going to know how to do a deal. And so let me dispel that for you right now. There's no place that's going to teach you that I know of. This is how you do a deal. You need a purchase agreement, or maybe you do, maybe you don't. You need a deed. You can record it. You know, the people who know the most about that, strangely enough, are like county recorders.
Right.
They know everything. If there's a county recorder school, I would ask you to go to that class. So unfortunately, real estate schools are all set up to teach people how to pass that exam.
It's true.
90%
In
of
that
it.
stage.
It's completely useless information, just like most of high school and most of college.
It's really just that. It's like SAT prep classes.
Jill and I, created Land Academy knowing full well that these are your education options out there. We tried to create a product, and I after 5 years now, we're getting a real good positive response on it, like trying to give you some valuable information on how to do a deal.
Right.
So you want to learn how to do a deal, get involved in Land Academy. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. Or
You want to know how to pass the test.
Or go to YouTube and sit and spend, in addition to Land Academy, go to YouTube and just consume as much as you can for free.
Isn't that a bummer too? I was going to say, I want to add, like, I have a really good friend who just got her license here in California. And it's exactly like you said, even going over like a HUD 1, which is
It's a closing statement.
Right, which shows what the seller's going to pay, what the buyer's going to pay, what the seller's going to get, what all the little fees are. She's like, even that, they only sit there and teach you the few sections you need to know because it's going to be on the test. So she's even asked me to say, can I come in your office and kind of watch you do this
I heard you
stuff?
guys talking about this. I was shocked.
I know. And she just did a $3 million deal in California. And that was like her first one. And she didn't know what she was getting into. She had not really seen this stuff, experienced this stuff. And part of it is too, because unfortunately, I think, I haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like they're trained to, you get the deal, you push it to escrow, and you back away. You don't ask a lot of questions. You just make sure you get your person there to sign on the signing day, and you make sure you do the math, 6% of whatever the number is, or your 3% of the number is. You know how to do that.
It's really 1.5 by the time you pay your broker.
Right. So, and that's it. So it was very sweet. And I actually appreciate her for taking that much interest and wanting to know what's really going on behind the scenes. I really want to know, what are they doing? What are they doing? Why do we need to do that? Why do we need to do this? From no one knows better than the investor, is my money. I know what goes on. I know what needs to get paid. And what's funny is we are the opposite spectrum, because as investors, I'm looking at the HUD 1 with a fine tooth comb. I'm like, why are you charging me $150 for postage when nothing ever got mailed? I walked into the office and signed in person.
So that's a HUD 1 audit that Jill's talking
kind
about.
of thing. I go through that stuff, man.
What you're really asking is going to real estate school going to teach me how to do a deal? And the answer is hell no.
Right.
Joining Land Academy, and I'm not selling anything here. If you don't want to join, that's fine. Just go out onto landinvestors.com, our forum, and say, how do I deed a piece of property, or what are the steps in a property? And the people in our group will tell you.
You know what I would do, though? I would recommend. I think the way we did it, at least for me, was perfect. I was a couple years in of doing deals, and then I did the real estate school. I think it's back then because we were going to be flipping some houses, and I thought that might have been the benefit. That was why. So I do recommend.
It was during a downturn.
It's really good to get that information, though. I would recommend that. It's 2 weeks out of your life of night classes.
You know what I got out of it?
And you can. Speaking of interrupting. From 3 days ago.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm getting my vocabulary exhale, and here you come.
It's getting withdrawal, I'm getting flashbacks.
Of what?
Sitting in school.
Oh, anyway, I would recommend though. You will get some information out of that, or if anything, honestly, it opens your eyes to what the planet knows and what they think they know. And so you will better work with agents. You'll be a better investor working with an agent if you've gone through the class that they went through. You're going to go, oh, no wonder they don't know that. They were never taught that. Take it away, Stephen.
No, that's it. I mean, because the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, the more useless it is. We just did a deal just recently. It's done. A woman called us, and jump in here anytime.
Okay.
She's called us on a letter that we sent her. She's in Michigan. The property's in the Southwest. It's a great deal for us. It's probably worth 4 times what we paid, maybe more. She is in a panic because there's a lot of back taxes in the deal. And Jill's talking to her. She's a very nice lady. She just wants to be done with it. It's in her name. So all the basic stuff's there. So Jill came in and solved her problem. She befriended her, established some trust, and solved her problem. And Jill didn't do it to make money. She did it because this is who Jill really is. We sent the notary. We prepared the deeds ourselves in our office. The deed Jill found out she actually owned another piece of property that she didn't even know.
No, she had. So I called her and said, hey, instead of $2,000, how about I offer you $4,000 because you own the one across the street too. She's like, what?
So we we put this at the very top of our acquisition pile, scrambled to get the deed done and unsigned, obviously, and some other stuff that we put in a deed package. We got a local notary to Michigan and arranged everything for her. The notary and all the documents went out to her house on Friday. She signed it and sent it back, and we recorded the deal. This is more than you're going to learn in any real estate class for an agent. This last 5 minutes of what we're talking about. So now we own the property. Then, because it's so valuable, we sent it through escrow, kind of did it backwards, and title, not to close the deal, but just to get title insurance policy on it.
Right.
So it's the mechanics of doing that. And I spared you all the tiny little details here that really, really matter in this business, and the on-the-fly decisions that Jill made and how to handle this person from a sales standpoint and a comfort standpoint and just customer service in general that you're not going to learn unless you just do a bunch of deals or you hang out with people in this group. That's why we started this group, who are constantly doing deals and ask a lot of questions.
Right. Thank you.
School is going to help you with the legal stuff that goes on in the state where you're going to operate.
Right. And how to pass the test.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
We haven't even talked about the topic yet.
I know.
Today's topic, I'm the bottleneck in my business.
You obviously
This is the meat of the show.
So you obviously pick these questions that like really get you going, and then it's a whole big discussion. So,
I choose these questions off of land investors.
I know you do.
I'm prepared.
I know you are. You come with a lot to say.
I skip over like 5. It's like 5 or 8 to 1.
Right. I know it is. You go down and you're like, nope. Oh, we're talking about that one.
That's
on
exactly
Tuesday.
what happens.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. How do you know that?
I know you. I know you. I know you very well. All right. So I have a lot to say on this one.
Go.
Okay. So this came to me because, like I said, I was talking to a new member, and it was before he's a member, about where he's in his business, and that's what he said to me. And I'm like, gosh, I've heard that before, on the bottleneck. So I put some notes down. I want to just kind of cover on this. We've all been there. At least, I think most of us have been there as a business owner, been in this situation. We both have. And I think it often stems from a fear of letting go. You are your own bottleneck because you're afraid to let go. You're worried that the person you're bringing in is not going to do it as fast as you or as well as you or exactly how you would, which I would say do it right. Which is me, right? I'll throw myself under the bus, right? You want to?
I didn't have to.
There you go. You want to talk? You want to? You can expand at any moment.
This is you times 6.
True. So, well, wait a minute. You're coming up in a minute. So this is often what happens, and what the problem with this is, if you don't get to that point and you don't hire someone because you're afraid that they're not going to do it like you. You're never going to grow. You cannot move forward. So how do you overcome this? So you have to take some time and do to the best of your ability, hire the person that you can, the best you can, hire that person and do your best to train that right person. However, this is where you come in, Stephen. You and I are different here.
Uh-oh.
You have to, we both are guilty of this. We've, learned, but you can't hire them, give them a little bit of guidance, and then throw them to the wolves. And I call that setting them up to fail. And that's where, not to throw you under the bus, but that's kind of in your way. Stephen's like,
absolutely.
If they don't get this, that's on them. And sometimes where I falter is I overtrain. I will, and you're like, get out of there. But I'm like, sometimes I get out of there too soon too. So you have to find the right balance. You can't just say, you got this and run, and you can't overtrain them too. Because if if you sit there and overtrain them, what you could end up doing is actually train them to come to you with everything. And then you're looking at like, well, why are they even here? If you overtrain them or you don't properly train them, or they have to run everything by you, it's why are you there? Like they're calling you 6 times a day. You're like, oh, I could have done it by now. That's not what you want. So what you really want to do is to find that sweet spot, train them so they can take it from there, empower them to make those decisions, and then move on to growing your own business.
Yeah, I mean, everything. I completely agree with. It starts with this. It starts with you. I don't care if you're brand new at this or if you've done thousands of deals like some of the people in our advanced group. Everybody could get up, look in the mirror, and ask themselves this question: what's holding me back from getting this thing to the next level? I don't care if, we had the advanced call last Thursday, and everybody was talking about, well, I'm at 350,000 this month. I'm at 150,000 this month. I'm trying to get to $1 million a month a year by the end of the year. So what's holding you back? Mm-hmm. And in every case for me and for Joe, I know for sure, because we talk about this all the time, it's people. Mm-hmm. And it's not like someone's sitting around holding us back. It's our lack of recruiting effectively and getting the right personality types and the right people trained and in a position where they can actually help us. And that's it. That is, if we had probably 5 to 8 really strong, what we call line managers, one person running the land stay, our land operation, one person running House Academy, which involves buying and selling houses, and individual line operators like that, we'd easily be making $1 million to $2 million a month. Mm-hmm. So everybody has to ask themselves that question: what is it? So I guess the question is, why haven't we done that? Why haven't we dropped everything and focused on that? And here's why. Jill and I, in our souls, haven't accepted the fact yet, and we're getting there, that whoever we hire is going to do a 50 to 80% as good a job as we could do in those roles. And that's the real truth. Because she just hasn't let go yet. She hasn't accepted that yet. And I'm not an operations person. This is like confessions of the Land Academy. I'm not an operations person. I never have been, and I never will be. I'm an out front entrepreneurial startup kind of person. I do the money piece. I get all the stuff and get the people in place, or try to, and then move on. And without exception, I move on before it's time. Mm-hmm. I move on before the egg is actually hatched. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't hatch sometimes. Yeah. It just dies on the vine there. That's like 6 metaphors in one. So, what's the name of the show?
I'm the bottleneck in my own business.
Yeah. So I'm the bottleneck in my own business there with that. Mm-hmm. And so we're making it's a lot worse than it sounds. I'm making it sound worse than it is, but because we're putting the people in place, we're hiring a recruiter and all
constantly.
That. So at least we're conscious of it.
You know what it is? And you have to, here's how we are. And this is what I hope the takeaway is: wherever you are in your career, as long as you're constantly open to and looking for and modifying you and your business, you'll be fine. If you just dig your heels in and go, this is my way or the highway, we're not changing it. If you can't get this, that's on you. Then if you never adjust, then that's when you bury yourself.
I mean, that's a great point. Like, inflexibility is never appropriate. Like, it's not appropriate in a relationship. It's not appropriate as a teacher. Right. You have to, flexibility is, we've all known and all know inflexible people. And I've been spattered with inflexible people, not by my own...
Spattered.
But not by my own, just by default in my life, and none, without exception, they're just no longer there. It's ridiculous to sit around and talk to somebody. It happens to Jill and I all the time socially. People's minds are so closed about everything, politics, money, people, all kinds of stuff. It just cracks me up that you can go through life.
Happens everywhere.
Without flexibility.
I know.
And without actually looking at the thing and talking about it.
I agree. My favorite is your choice of words. I'm going to use that later.
Spattered?
Well, Steven spattered that all over me today. That meeting, he spattered his opinion all over that meeting.
People spattered.
Where did that one come from?
I don't know. Spattered.
That's good. Well, that's the word of the day, everyone.
Is it a word, you think?
Oh, sure it is. Like, it's paint spattered.
Oh, okay.
Blood spattered. It's Walking Dead. That's it. Okay, that's probably where you got it.
Dead. Join us next time for an episode called Why the Land Academy Advanced Group is Free.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community found at landinvestors.com, and that's free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Remember Spattered.
Yep. 1% of our listening audience knows what you mean.
Exactly. And
It's
only the ones,
Sesame Street.
I know, only the ones that
You
like,
got to be over 50 for
if
this.
you watch the video, if you're watching on YouTube, you saw me do the hand gesture. For those of you listening, didn't see the hand gesture, but you know what I mean if you know that.
It was a good episode. It's like, that really like, it was a good meeting for us, you and I.
It was great. I can cross off our 3:00. Don't have to do that today.
The Land Academy Daily Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener.
So
it's a
wherever
new
you
line
are
for me.
watching or wherever you are listening, please pay it back and subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.